Hello, I'm Laura and I'm going to inform you about academic integrity, the key to university success. You already know what it is, that's great, but for those who don't, academic integrity involves being honest and responsible for your scholarship and your work. To do this, according to the Michigan State University, you must create and express your own ideas whilst acknowledging all sources. You should also be honest about your work and exams and accurate report or research. Finally, you must work independently or admit to collusion. Plagiarism is using someone else's work as your own for your benefit, whether it be intentional or unintentional. It's a form of academic dishonesty. For me, in my first year, plagiarism was a bit of a worry, so here's some current students' views on plagiarism.
I'm here with two current students to ask them a few questions. Can you define plagiarism?
Yeah, plagiarism is using someone else's work and not acknowledging it.
Plagiarism is taking someone else's work from from a source and not giving them credit for it.
Does plagiarism faze you?
No, because I've done a lot of assignments over the last couple of years, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Not really, because I have done my assignments over the past term and they've all come back 5% or less.
Can you give any tips for the first years on how they can avoid committing plagiarism?
Yeah, just put everything into your own words when you do research and everything.
Yeah, always remember to thoroughly research the topic before you write anything down, just so you have a better understanding of the topic.
To avoid committing plagiarism, you need to know the different components. There are several, but according to plagiarism.org, the main ones are the following. The first is cloning someone else's work word for word and submitting it as your own. Another is copying large pieces of work without adjusting it. Also, omission paraphrasing, defined as copying a source with slight adjustments by Barrett and Malcolm in 2006, is a form of plagiarism. If you remix your work by paraphrasing sources or recycle by reusing work without citation, you will be guilty of plagiarism. Plagiarism also takes form by mixing copied uncited sources or by making errors in your citations and references. You'll be guilty of plagiarism if your work lacks originality or quotation marks when required. Finally, if you retweet work by relying on the original source too much, you will have plagiarised. Media, you can also end up plagiarising, so you must also correctly use and cite all images, videos and music. Collusion is a form of academic dishonesty when two or more people work together on a piece of work and submit it as their own. It's usually when A copies from B with or without B's knowledge, or when A and B work together. Sometimes your assignments will require collusion. Cheating, another form of academic dishonesty, according to University of Leeds, is attempting to gain an unfair advantage in an exam. Happens if you take unauthorised items into the exam, such as phones, or if you copy or communicate during the exam. According to The Guardian in 2012, plagiarism is one of the most common things students complain about, so if you avoid it from the start, your university life will be a lot easier. The Nursing Standard 2014 suggests that you take time out to familiarise yourself with your uni's regulations around academic integrity, as if you know the rules, you can follow them. Neville 2010 suggests that to avoid plagiarism, you should give yourself plenty of time for assignments, as most students plagiarise due to a lack of time. Also, if you summarise and paraphrase text, you will avoid copying from sources. Finally, he suggests that you should use the university systems such as Turnitin that tutors use to see how familiar your work is to other documents. If you check your work using this, you won't plagiarise accidentally. The University of Leeds argues that you should use a reference guide and note-take whilst reading to avoid plagiarism, as you know your ideas come from and reference correctly. They also suggest that you collaborate but not collude by talking about assignments, but if you use someone else's idea, reference it. Finally, the University of East London suggests that you should always protect your work by logging off the computer to avoid people using your work. To conclude, you must achieve academic integrity to be successful at university. Otherwise, you will commit academic dishonesty, which has serious consequences for your career and degree. If you are still unsure about academic integrity, I suggest that you use university sites such as Cardiff and Nottingham that provide information and tests. These are the links to them. Thank you for listening. I hope I've helped to inform you about academic integrity, but please don't worry about it, as if you follow these tips, you'll be absolutely fine. Good luck.